Armies and leaders love their secrets. Old mission files, strange finds, and classified work often stay locked up or covered in black ink. This mystery, especially when weird things happen, makes people wonder, what's really out there? What don't they want us to know? That's the same question folks asked about a huge U.S. military trip to Antarctica in 1947. On paper, it was just practice and map-making. But 80 years later, many think something was found deep in the ice, something amazing. Some say it was a secret Nazi hideout with super weapons. Others think it was proof of a lost, smart race living inside our planet. This is the tale of Operation Highjump, and the Hollow Earth idea. Antarctica sits at the bottom of our world and ranks fifth in size, over 5.5 million square miles of frozen, dry ground. It's one of the harshest spots on Earth, with wild winds and bone-chilling cold as low as -128 degrees Fahrenheit. Almost nothing lives here, except penguins, seals, and some moss. Still, Antarctica has always grabbed the attention of smart minds and brave souls. It's seen as the final great unknown, a mysterious land packed with hidden treasures. In the 1800s and early 1900s, many nations sent boats south during what's called the heroic age of Antarctic exploring. Countries like Britain, Norway, France, and the US planted flags and built small research camps. One country had a darker plan, Nazi Germany. By 1938, Hitler was getting ready for war. He wanted Germany to stand alone, especially with goods like butter and oils, which came from other places. Inspired by Norway's whale hunting success, the Nazis sent a team to Antarctica, led by Captain Alfred Richer and the ship MS Schwabenland. They reached a part of Antarctica called Queen Maud Land. Flying over endless, icy ground in small planes, they dropped Nazi flags and claimed the area as New Swabia. But they couldn't find a good spot for a whale base and went back to Germany in early 1939. After war started, Hitler dropped the mission, at least on the surface. Some think the Nazis stayed in Antarctica. That their real goal was much bigger, tied to Nazi beliefs in old cultures and the Hollow Earth idea. Nazi leaders were hooked on myths and ancient peoples, especially the idea of a perfect Aryan race that lived long ago and helped shape human story. They even built a research group called the Antarctic to study these claims and link the Nazis to this master race. Some Nazi thinkers believed in the Hollow Earth idea, an old thought from the 1600s. One version said that Earth had many layers with spaces inside that could hold life, cities, or even smart cultures. Some thought there were doors to these inner worlds at the North and South Poles. Could it be that the Nazis were hunting for these hidden openings? After World War II ended in 1945, many Nazi leaders ran away using secret paths called rattlins. U-boats took them to South America. And maybe, some say, even to Antarctica. In July 1945, a Nazi submarine, U-530, reached Argentina. Another, U-977, showed up weeks later. Some claimed Hitler and other top Nazis were on board and had been dropped off in Antarctica before the subs gave up. A man named Lady Sla Sabo, living in Argentina, added to the story. He wrote a newspaper piece and later a book claiming Hitler was still alive. His tale, along with the U-boat arrivals, made people think, was there a secret Nazi base under the Antarctic ice? Some said it was storing gold, stolen art, or even Hitler's remains. Others believed it was still working, with Nazi scientists building powerful weapons, including UFOs. One quote, supposedly from Admiral Donitz in 1943, said the German Navy had built an unbreakable fortress in a far-off part of the world. Was this that place? Was the Nazi base real, and if so, was it still running? In 1946, the U.S. launched Operation Highjump. It was the biggest trip to Antarctica ever tried. On paper, it was a training and research task led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The mission had 70 ships, an aircraft carrier, 33 aircraft, and nearly 5,000 men. Byrd had explored Antarctica before and was already famous for flying over the North Pole in 1926. The mission started in August 1946 and was meant to last 6 months. But by February 1947, it was suddenly stopped. The Navy said it was because of the early arrival of the harsh Antarctic winter. But in a talk with a Chilean newspaper, Admiral Byrd made a strange comment, warning that America needed to be ready for attacks from aircraft flying over the poles. Some took this as a hint about UFOs or secret enemies hiding in Antarctica. A Russian film from 2006, based on a supposedly released KGB report, claimed that Operation Highjump was actually a fighting mission. According to the report, the U.S. fleet was attacked by saucer-shaped aircraft marked with swastikas. These flying machines fired beams of heat and light, damaging U.S. ships and killing sailors. One of the saucers was said to be shot down. The U.S. fleet pulled back, and later, nuclear bombs were supposedly dropped to destroy the base. There's no proof any of this happened. But the rumors only grew. Then there's the weirdest part, Admiral Byrd's supposed secret diary. In it, he writes about flying over the North Pole in February 1947 and seeing rich green land, forests, and a woolly mammoth. His plane was then taken over by strange craft and landed in a city inside the Earth, ruled by a tall, blonde-haired race called the Ariani. They warned him about mankind's use of atomic bombs and asked him to spread a message of peace. According to this diary, Byrd was then returned safely to the surface. But there's a problem. Operation Highjump happened in Antarctica, at the South Pole, and Byrd was busy watching over the mission that same month. There's no record of him flying north at that time. It seems impossible for both stories to be true. Also, the Russian film and the diary don't match. In one, the strange aircraft are friendly. In the other, they're mean. If they're the same Ariani race, why would they destroy U.S. ships in one version and give peace messages in another? Some think the Nazis found the Ariani first and got access to their tech. Others think the Nazis just built their own UFOs. With the U.S. hiring Nazi scientists after the war during Operation Paperclip, these ideas never fully went away. There's more. A U.S. pilot during Operation Highjump, Lieutenant Commander Bunger, found a strange green and blue lake in Antarctica. He even landed on it and took water samples. But it turned out to be salt water, just an opening in the ice where ocean water flowed in. This find may have inspired later stories about hidden cities under the ice. Despite the mystery, no official records show anything odd. The only deaths during Operation Highjump came from bad weather and accidents. And while 3 nuclear tests did happen near Antarctica, they didn't occur until 1958, part of Operation Argus, not Highjump. As for the supposed KGB report, it's full of mistakes. For example, it names a U.S. ship that wasn't even part of the trip, and another that had been sunk years earlier in World War II. So what's the truth behind Hollow Earth and Operation Highjump? Could a Nazi base really have existed in Antarctica? Did Admiral Byrd find a hidden culture? Or did people over time mix facts, stories, and wild ideas into one tangled tale? We may never know. But it's clear the legend of Hollow Earth has grabbed human imagination for ages. Many old cultures, from Native Americans to Greeks, spoke of hidden underground worlds. Maybe that's why these theories still live on. Even if science says the Earth is solid, some people still wonder what lies beneath.